everybody, welcome back to the channel today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. As you all know, these have been some pre-recorded videos, and so I am so excited to share this one with you. By the time you have seen this video, or if you missed it, you know I am in Vegas or just coming back. By the time you see this, I have to make sure I schedule these time these right, but yeah, I'm either back from everything or I'm still gone by the time you're seeing this. But anyway, welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm gonna button this back up here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like this video, at the end of the video, don't forget to thumbs up this video and don't forget to share it. I know usually every year YouTube is usually very particular about showing content that's outside of Vlogmas, people who are doing Vlogmas or people who are doing a lot of DIY around Christmas. So yeah, y'all help with the algorithm and go ahead and thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. So I am coming in today. I'm so super excited. You all know this went with me to Vegas. Now, I believe I said in the Vegas video that the weather-wise in Vegas, it is cooler here than here in Texas. But we are also going to Michigan to visit family up north. So it's definitely going to be cold. And so that's why I made this cape. And I'm so super excited about it. And I believe I had shared early on the fabric and everything. And I was going to make a couple detail changes. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. So this is Vogue 1754. I did view A. So I did not do the longer version. I did view A, which is the shorter version. I did not do, this is a really super easy to put together, but I did not do, you all know, if you watch my channel, follow along, I personally am not a fan of hook and eyes. I just don't like them, and so I knew I was going to do buttons. And then for the coat, so for the belt, actually it calls for that to be to have buttons on it, but I want to still do something different with that, even though I was doing buttons here at the top. And so I would just say, you guys, fabulous. The fabric, it is a wool blend. It's a blend because it's not itchy. It is not itchy at all. So it is a blend of some sort. I actually hauled it earlier this year in 2023 February. Roz from So Much Fabric did a fabric and pattern swap, and so this was one of the fabrics. If you all remember, I had shared that I got this in a in the swap. So good, and I knew I wanted to do a jacket of some sort, and so when I went through my patterns, this was the pattern that I chose. So it is labeled as easy. It's an online cape. It has hook and eye closure, a narrow hem. It has front pockets, a belt with a button closure, and it calls for wools, gabardines, fleece, and then you do have interfacing for the lining. The pockets, a lining for the pockets. I'll show you that. I just used some scraps that I have for that. I made the size, I want to say I made the largest size, because I did not, because the packet I have goes up to extra large, and I cut out an extra large, and I only needed a half yard of lining, and that was just for the pockets. I don't even think I needed that much for the pockets, because they're pretty deep pockets. I do like them. I will say, so far as the instructions are super easy. We're gonna get into this look though. The instructions are super easy. A couple things that I wish I had thought of was, because you are sewing, it's just a cape, so it's nice. You have the hem finish, and you'll see in the video and pictures that I put up. Had I thought about it, I would have mitered my corners. I just folded over the corners per the instructions. And but it wasn't until after I was sewing through it, I was like, oh, I could have mitered the corners. It had that nice clean finish on the inside. But I mean, it still looks good. Not like it doesn't look good. But yeah, absolutely love that. I will say, because I had roughly, because the pattern for view A calls for in an extra large, it calls for a lot of fabric. You need a good 4.5, yeah, 4.5 with the cape and the belt. I had a little over 4, but I had to piece a couple pieces together, and I'll share with you those pieces that I had to piece together. But when I tell you this, it is so easy to sew up. I like how chic it is, and it will transition with me. I'll have to do a video. Anytime I make a coat, it's purple. All my coats I've ever made for myself, it's purple. Some shade of purple. And this is my 4th or 5th coat that I've made, and they're all purple. And so I'm gonna have to do a video on that. Let me know if you're interested in that. And but yeah, anyway, so the pattern pieces are really large. You do have to tape one of the patterns pieced together is piece 4. I can't remember if that was the front or the back, but because, you know, the wingspan of the cape, it is really wide, and so I had to turn the pattern piece. Make sure you have to lay your pattern pieces flat, so this is nothing you can cut on the fold. So lay everything flat. I think the only thing I was able to cut on the fold was these 2 front sections, because this front section and this front section, that was more narrow, but everything else had to lay out flat. The instructions, I will say, I want to say I didn't have any notes to share with you in particular about finishing this off there, because it's really easy. It's really easy. Just make sure you have enough fabric. It's only 25 steps. And yeah, it's only like 25 steps. It is so easy. It is super easy. So it is not anything that, you know, I would say don't get. I know a lot of people don't. I've had quite a few people comment on my channel that you haven't sewn a Vogue pattern. Get this one. This is a good one, and the sizing is really, really good. Like I said, it goes up to an extra large. I did the extra large. The extra large is 46, goes up to a 48 bust, a 41.5 waist, and a 50-inch hip. But as you can tell, the finished garment measurement, you got a lot to work with. So let me get into the details and the changes that I made. I am going to see if I can bring her up, but as you can see, I have done buttons on the front. Now these buttons, actually, hold on. Okay, this is a much better view. I feel like I can talk from. So these buttons, actually, you all seen, if you've seen my Bernina sewing machine video, you know that there was a ton of buttons, like 1 million buttons. And I went through everything and found these. And so I absolutely love them. They were perfect. And I had just enough because I needed 6. And it was only 6 of these buttons. And then I used leftover fabric that I had serged when I washed the this fabric after I had received it. I had serged one in, so I used that serged in to create these loops that go around the buttons. That's what I did. And then you will notice here is the belt. I did a grommet and ties. And what I did was and I'm getting ready to tell you about this fabric. But okay, I forgot to mention, I will show you how I did the belt. I am starting with, this is my handbag collection hardware. And so I have grommets, and then you will see me transition here. I'm actually listening to Norris do the Know Me 2061. I'm just listening right now just to see what he's saying. But so I'll fast forward past this shortly.
Exact same size for the construction to actually work. Okay. So that's how you make a quick adjustment just for sizing if you want to make it shorter or if you want to make it longer. And that goes for the front, the back, the flap, the underlap, and also the sleeve. Okay, just some very helpful tips before we actually start the order of instruction. This particular project is not just lining and fabric. We have 3 different types of fabric that we'll be working with. The fabric, well,
so essentially what you saw me do is just use double-sided tape. This belt is actually from, if you remember this top I made here for BHM, I knew I wasn't going to wear that vest again, so I just went ahead and cut it, and I used that to kind of piece together a couple pieces to use for the belt. And all I did was use the double-sided tape, folded it over, grabbed my tools just to make sure everything was nice and neat. And then I went ahead and smoothed everything out. And I had a little bit of fabric left over, and I went ahead and put that around the raw edge because I didn't want the raw edge showing. And you just see me here using my walking foot to go ahead and apply that piece to the raw edge of the belt, which went relatively smoothly and fast. Then you see me transition here. Here are my grommets. I'm just showing the ones I decided to use. And there's 2 sides to them. They snap together. You have both sides look exactly the same, but you do go ahead and snap those pieces together. So I'm just making sure I have all of the right pieces together before I start working on it. And here's my hole punch. I know I've shared this many times, but I got this off of Amazon. It has a lot of different punches in it. And so that is what I use to put the holes in. And I made sure that, you know, the holes in the grommet, the hole punch that I use, that they match. So here is one of my table presses that I use. You just see me here putting on the presser, the bottom and the top. I was just checking to see if the punch would fit in between, if I need to use the larger or smaller one. Now here, I highly suggest if you do have one of these that you test it to make sure that your hole punch is right. As you can tell, my little that little mat is just all beat up, but it works. So you see me here, put the hole inside of the belt, and then I put the grommet in, and then I went ahead and finished that for both sides. And what I did was use a piece of fabric once I put the grommets in, and that's what I used in between the press to kind of protect it, and pressed it all in place. But there's a raw edge. I decided there was enough of this fabric to use to cut a thin enough piece to just wrap around. That's all I did. And it's raw. And I like that. I like that. And it's just raw, wrapped around just so that raw edge wouldn't show. And that's what I used. And then I created these ties from some more leftover fabric. And so, yeah, that is how that is looking. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I did have these buttons. I have found these buttons in the stash. If you can see those, look at these, so cute. But I only had 3. So I couldn't use these. I'm sure I'll be able to find another project to use those for. Another thing is I had to figure out how, I realized quickly that the belt is not meant to go around the entire coat. So if I were to turn the cape around, you see, and let me move this, you see the belt doesn't go around the cape. It's meant to go around your body and then come out through the slits that you put in the side here, and that's how you put her on. And so yes, super nice. And that was, I was like, well, how do I, because you can tell by the width of the length of the belt that is not meant to go around all of this fabric. So then I looked at the line drawing. I was like, oh, it's ran through the slits on the side, and then you bring it towards the front. So cute. And I will pop up, you'll see video here in a moment. So let me show you real quickly the inside of her, which, you know, it's not, there are no finished seams or anything like that on the inside. I didn't buy, I should say I didn't put bias binding or anything around the seams on the inside. So everything is, this is not going to ravel or fray. So I just pressed it good after I stitched when I did the facing. So here's the facing. As you can see, I had bias binding that I just used, because you're supposed to turn it under, but this is so thick, I didn't want to do that. So I just used bias binding. I had a little bit of my purple bias binding, and that's what I used to finish off the inside of the facing. So I did that all the way around. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing really to say. Here's the pockets. Like I said, the pockets are deep. One side of the pocket, you do use the fabric, and then the other side, so when you slip your hands in, you're feeling this on the inside. And they're pretty decent pockets, and I just serged the pocket. But outside of that, you guys, it was so super easy to get, and I like how chic it is. This is what I wanted to show you about the back too. I didn't have enough fabric, so I had to piece, here it is, I had to piece, can you see that? I had to piece this back piece together on both sides. So both sides have that piecing, which it just looks like it's a design of the of the coat, of the cape. But when I tell you, and I'll pop a video and pictures, but when I tell you, this baby is gorgeous. She is so chic. She's very fashionable, and I just love the way she looks. She is fabulous. She is fabulous. So yeah, definitely let me know. The videos and pictures you see is before we even left. I just took a few pictures. I have on my Rebecca page raglan tee, and I just threw on the skirt, I want to say, in the pictures in the video that you see. I just need to do something so you can see me in it on camera and everything like that. So but yeah, that is how it looks. That's how it wears. I absolutely love it. It will be in my stash, in my coat collection. I don't have a lot, but I am happy with this because it will come in handy while we are in Michigan. And so I will do a wrap-up video of everything that I wore with, you know, proper photos and all that other different stuff. You'll see that come out after the fact. But yeah, that is it, everybody. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Have you made this? Would you consider making it? For those who are intimidated by Vogue and you like a nice cape, coat type garment, and you live in a climate that this will work for you, get it. It is so super easy to sew up. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video. You will see, not quite sure what it is because they're all pre-scheduled. All right, everybody, have a blessed one, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.